Good day, I'm Phil of the Shadow Chasers, and today I want to talk about a little bit about a piece of technology that we are developing. This is rather interesting and sort of weapon-looking device is what we're referring to as the sonic probe with enhanced camera and track recording, or the S.P.E.C.T.R wand. And the S.P.E.C.T.R wand is essentially based off of inductive coil technology. Right down here. This is what an inductive coil looks like. The inductive coil absorbs all energy fields and in this case changes them into an audible signal. So you can actually hear EM, you can hear electrostatic, you can hear RF, and those pulses, all of that you can hear in real time because it is an audible signal. The biggest problem with these is these are very localized inductive coils. They're very small, but they're very, very sensitive. And as a result, your own body tends to contaminate the results. So you'll actually filter and you'll actually end up with sort of muted audio from an inductive coil if you're just plugging it into a recorder and stuff like that. So you have to put some distance in between yourself and the pickup and the coil. So we've modified the coil and made some arrangements so that we can actually just take the coil, put it in a non-conductive housing, a probe, that we can actually keep at distance from us. So with this way, we are getting unfiltered results and we can actually pick up fields from much, much further away. Now, the enhanced camera capabilities are, this is a new little piece of tech we've picked up on. This is a DVR camcorder flashlight. So what it'll do is we have our flashlight and then we also have a track recording in here that allows us to record while we're looking around. So if we're doing a walkthrough, we can do this single-handed as we're wandering around, picking up the fields. The camcorder will be able to pick up on this as well, and we're also documenting the walkthrough. So this is the enhanced recording capabilities, camera recorder. Now, what we end up with is we take the inductive coil and we can take it and attach it to a voice recorder and use this as the power supply for our S.P.E.C.T.R wand here. So now what we end up with, turn up the volume so we can get some feedback. And you can hear where those fields are. While it's not as scientific as tracking with EM meters and stuff along those lines, the inductive coil, the S.P.E.C.T.R wand, allows you to really shorten investigation times by tracking down the hot spots in a house with both the wiring problems or any EM fields, track them straight to the source immediately, simply because you can hear it. And since this is designed a certain way, this allows us to actually extend out so that we can reach further. So we don't have to get into those little cobweb locations. And it also further enhances the inductive coil because you're putting more space in between yourself and the coil, so you're no longer shielding it as much. So the inductive coil in this is very, very productive. We just tested it on Friday night, and this actually shortened our investigation time for tracking the energy fields, the EM poisoning in the house, drastically. Walked into the room and immediately you could pick up on all of it. Anything. Like, this is the tablet, the Arcos. You hear the static field of it running. But what we can also do is we can take this coil and we can plug it into the Arcos here, and we can actually do a signal analyzer for it. You can actually see the inductive coil is tracking any anomalous signals or fields, and you'll be able to trace those based specifically on frequency, on hertz, all of that directly. Now we're continuing to look into enhancing this further, but for what it does, for the rather unique nature of this S.P.E.C.T.R wand, is this VRM or S.P.E.C.T.R wand allows us to shorten investigations. Now, talking with our engineer, station engineer, electrical engineer, about the development of this, he postulated that it would be possible to manipulate the coil so that we could actually further refine it. We can also put a notch filter in there to lock out normal 50 to 60 hertz range for power. He also talked about taking and locking in 2 more of these in an open space, and you'll be able to triangulate any anomalous energy fields outdoors. So for an outdoor session, we'll be able to track down EM fields without having to deal with localized phenomena like you need for the EMF meters. The EMF meters are good for 3 to 10 feet, depending on which model you have, which going on. The DC fields, the natural field meter, can pick up 15 feet away, but this thing is wide open. It allows you to pick them up, even the slightest difference in field, from up to 30 feet or more. We're still testing the range on it, but it allows you to track every source and hear it in real time. And since we're actually using a voice recorder, this allows us to record the entire session as well. So if we're listening for EVPs and they're coming straight through EM fields, this further allows us to refine it by saying, like on our case on Friday night, we investigated and we tried this. We actually heard the static blip right before the EVPs came through the recorder, but while I was listening in real time, I heard that same static blip and then actual breathing, an EVP straight through the EM, straight through the energy fields into the inductive coil, and I could hear it in real time. So take a look at the S.P.E.C.T.R wand, what we've got going on. We are going to further refine this and develop this a bit more. This was based on the VRM, and is very, very, very proficient at what it does, and it's very simplified. But we're going to further refine this, adding notch filters, adding enhancements to the inductive coil so it picks up even further away. And also we have the capabilities of not only having the DVR flashlight here, but also replacing it with a laser net or grids, or even just a light of any other form, a normal flashlight. So we can actually modify this and attach additional things. Aside from the tangle of cables that we end up with, this device is really turning out to be something beneficial for us. Between the tracking capabilities and you can listen for EVPs in real time or just record sessions, it's all turning out really, really strong and really, really good. Stay tuned for more developments on the S.P.E.C.T.R wand, and let us know what you think of it.